It was the first day of the new quarter at the office, and something was different. The usual buzz of keyboards clattering and phones ringing was interrupted by hushed whispers that filled the hallways. Word had gotten out, a new colleague was joining the team today. But no one knew much about them. As Sarah slid into her cubicle, she noticed a crowd gathering near the entrance. Even her typically uninterested boss, Mr. Harris, had stepped out of his office. She heard snippets of conversation. "I heard they're from New York. Apparently, they've worked in 6 different countries. I bet they're a genius." The speculation was rampant. Everyone was curious. "Sarah, do you know anything about the new person?" Liz, her cubicle neighbor and office gossip enthusiast, leaned in with wide eyes. "Nope, not a clue," Sarah replied, amused by the excitement. "But judging by the reaction, you'd think they were royalty or something." "Well, this place could use some excitement," Liz said, glancing toward the entrance, waiting for a glimpse. "Maybe they'll shake things up a bit. It's about time." Mr. Harris cleared his throat loudly, and the chatter died down as everyone turned to him. "Team, I'd like to introduce you to our new colleague, Alex Reed," he announced. A tall figure stepped into view. Dressed sharply in a tailored suit, with neatly combed hair and a confident stride, Alex carried an aura of effortless composure. But there was something else too, a mystery in those deep-set eyes that caught everyone's attention. They seemed to scan the room with the precision of someone who had already figured out what everyone was thinking. Sarah found herself inexplicably intrigued. Most newcomers shuffled in, introduced themselves with a few awkward words, and that was that. But Alex had a presence that commanded attention without saying a word. Alex nodded politely to the group but didn't offer much beyond a brief smile. Mr. Harris continued with his usual managerial bluster, but Sarah barely heard it. She was too busy trying to figure out the enigma that had just entered their world. As the day progressed, Sarah noticed how Alex moved through the office. They were calm, methodical, and eerily observant. It wasn't long before the whispers began again, this time with new theories. Some thought Alex was a former spy. Others claimed they had seen Alex in a news article about a major tech breakthrough a few years ago. The stories got wilder with every retelling. When lunchtime rolled around, Sarah found herself seated across from Alex in the break room. She had brought her usual salad, and Alex was sipping on what looked like green tea. The room felt quieter than usual, as if everyone was waiting for something to happen. "So," Sarah began, "first day in a new place, huh? Must be a bit overwhelming." Alex smiled faintly, setting down the tea. "Not too bad. New places are always interesting. You get to see how people tick." Sarah raised an eyebrow. "How people tick?" Alex nodded. "Everyone has patterns. Habits they fall into without realizing it. Once you understand that, you can fit in just about anywhere." "That's an interesting way to look at it," Sarah said, unsure how to respond. She was used to the usual small talk about the weather or weekend plans, not this kind of deep observation. "Take Mr. Harris, for example," Alex continued, their voice low but clear. "He acts like he's in control, but he's nervous. Keeps fidgeting with his pen, eyes darting to the clock. He's not comfortable in his role." Sarah blinked in surprise. "You've noticed all that already?" Alex shrugged. It's just a habit of mine. I like to understand the dynamics of a place quickly. Sarah's curiosity deepened. So what do you think of this place? Alex leaned back slightly, eyes scanning the break room. It's like any office. Everyone falls into roles. There's the gossip, the workaholic, the one who keeps their head down. You get the picture. And which one are you? Sarah asked, feeling oddly bold. Alex smiled again, this time with a hint of mischief. I guess we'll find out, won't we? Over the next few weeks, Alex settled into the office, but the air of mystery remained. They were competent, no, more than competent. They handled tasks with ease, often finishing assignments that took others days in just a few hours. But despite their efficiency, Alex didn't make many friends. It wasn't that they were unfriendly, it was more like they were always one step removed, always observing. Sarah found herself growing more and more intrigued. She had tried to get to know Alex better, but every conversation seemed to circle back to Alex asking about her or others, never revealing much about themselves. The only thing she knew for sure was that Alex had worked in various cities around the world. Beyond that, it was all speculation. Then, one rainy afternoon, something unexpected happened. The office was quiet, with most people focused on their work. Sarah was finishing up a report when she saw Alex walk past her cubicle toward the stairwell. She thought nothing of it until she noticed a slip of paper on the floor near her desk. Curiosity piqued, she picked it up. It was a business card, sleek and black, with Alex's name printed on it. But what caught her attention was the logo on the corner, a symbol she didn't recognize. Beneath it were the words, "Consultant for Special Projects." What does that even mean? Sarah muttered to herself. Special projects? Was Alex more than just a regular employee? Her thoughts were interrupted by a sudden power outage. The office plunged into darkness, and a collective groan echoed through the cubicles. Emergency lights flickered on, casting eerie shadows across the room. Great, just what we needed, Liz grumbled from the next cubicle. I guess we're done for the day. But Sarah wasn't paying attention. Something about the timing of the outage felt off. She glanced toward the stairwell where Alex had gone, her mind racing. Was it just a coincidence, or was there more to this new colleague than met the eye? Without thinking, she grabbed her coat and followed. The stairwell was dimly lit by the emergency lights, casting long shadows on the walls. Sarah descended cautiously, her footsteps echoing in the quiet. She wasn't sure what she was doing or what she expected to find, but something urged her forward. She reached the basement level, a place she had never had reason to visit before. The door to the maintenance room was ajar, and inside, she could hear voices, faint but unmistakable. One of them was Alex. Sarah crouched near the door, straining to hear. The system's down, but it's only temporary, Alex was saying. We need more time. A second voice responded, deep and authoritative. You're running out of it. If they find out what you're doing. They won't, Alex interrupted. I've got it under control. Sarah's heart raced. What was happening? Was Alex involved in something illegal? Espionage? Sabotage? She didn't know what to do. Should she confront them? Call the police? Before she could make a decision, the conversation ended abruptly. Sarah scrambled back toward the stairs, trying to make it seem like she hadn't been eavesdropping. She hurried up the steps, her mind spinning with questions. The power returned just as she reached the office floor. People groaned in disappointment. Apparently, they had been hoping for an early dismissal. But Sarah barely registered the chatter. Her thoughts were consumed by what she had overheard. She returned to her desk, heart pounding. A few minutes later, Alex reappeared, as calm and collected as ever. They offered no explanation for their absence, and Sarah didn't dare ask. But as Alex passed by her cubicle, they paused for a moment, locking eyes with her. "Everything all right, Sarah?" Alex asked, their tone neutral, but there was something in their gaze, something that told Sarah they knew she had followed them. Sarah forced a smile. "Yeah, just waiting for the lights to come back on." Alex nodded slowly, eyes lingering on her for a moment longer before walking away. From that day forward, Sarah kept a closer eye on Alex. She never mentioned the conversation she overheard in the basement, but the knowledge weighed heavily on her. Who was Alex Reed, really? What special projects were they working on? The mystery remained unsolved, but one thing was clear: her new colleague was not what they seemed. And Sarah had a feeling that this was only the beginning.